Have you heard the news? Hullbreacher in Commander is banned. This is a card. Whoops, hold on, I gotta... No, I'm sharing. Share the love. First off, I mean, let's just look at Hullbreacher. I didn't really get to experience this card very much. I'm more focused on Modern than Legacy. But this is a card that was definitely printed for Commander, but ended up getting abused by wheel effects. So we got a 3-mana 3/2 flash creature, flash, so that you could really get them when someone tries to go for that Wheel of Fortune. If an opponent would draw a card except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, instead you create a treasure token. So it was most problematic with basically cards like Wheel of Fortune, where everyone has to discard their hand. Each player discards his or her hand and draws 7 cards. But in this case, what ends up happening is you draw the 7 cards, but everybody else, if you've got the Hullbreacher in play, they're going to draw nothing, and then you get a bunch of treasure tokens. You just go, nye, 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 nye. Take that, everybody. So, but here's the deal. I mean, it made really huge news. First, let's look at what the Commander Rules community committee actually had to say about the card. Hullbreacher is banned. Hullbreacher has been a problem card since its release. There's a lot of problem cards since their release. They're not doing anything about them. Its ostensibly defensive use against extra card draw has been dwarfed by offensively comboing it with mass draw effects to easily strip players' hands while accelerating the controller. That play pattern isn't something we want prevalent in casual play. See the Leovold ban. And we have seen a lot of evidence that it is too tempting even there, as it combines with wheels and other popular casual staples. The case against the card was overwhelming. There remain a few similar cards that are still permitted, notably Notion Thief, Narset Parter Avails. The additional hoops required an additional color pip for Notion Thief and sorcery speed for Narset appear to be keeping them to the appropriate level of play, though we'll continue to keep an eye on them. Guess what? This broke trending on Twitter, United States Twitter. It was like number 10 for trending. That's how big of a banning this was. This was no small banning. This is maybe the biggest banning of all time. So big, he even made it to Forbes. Forbes wrote a fucking article on this thing, for crying out loud. Hullbreacher is now banned in Magic the Gathering's Commander format. When did I ever believe that Forbes would talk about like the banning of a Magic card? I don't remember them when Oko got banned. I don't remember the Forbes article when Uro got banned. But Hullbreacher gets banned in Commander. Now this is like newsworthy, national newsworthy. Hullbreacher's a 3/2 merfolk pirate costing 1 blue and 2 generic. Oh really? It has flash, meaning it can be played at instant speed, and not only prevents opponents from drawing more than 1 card each turn, it gives you treasure tokens whenever they try. So yeah, I thought that was like the most interesting part of this whole fiasco. This news about Hullbreacher getting banned went national. It went super national. A lot of a lot of news outlets are talking about this, and yes, it made number 10 for trending on Twitter for the day. Hullbreacher. Like, what other Hullbreacher could they possibly be talking about? All right, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, my coffee crew. Welcome to the morning show where we discuss all things Magic. Get your questions fired up. Let's have a great discussion this morning. Also, we do Decklist reviews. So if you have a 75 you want some feedback on, submit it to us, and both myself and the coffee crew would love to give that feedback. So brew up those coffees. Let's brew up some Magic this morning. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for June 13th. 2021. I am your host, Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Harry. Good morning, 6mm, Aaron, Rebecca, Frick Curry, Mareep, Fraser T, Frederick, Andrew Ryan, the Iron Warlock, Martin, Donald, MTG Ectoplasm, Chris Yasma, Grando, Hugh, Walter, Drew, Pablo, Steven, Gold Medal, Tyler, Stefano. Good morning, everyone. All right, you know the drill. 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question helps me find your questions amongst all the comments I'm getting both on several YouTube channels and a Facebook fan page. But if you're on YouTube, you can cheat the system with super chats and donate with the super chat, and your question gets pushed to the top of the feed. Oh, wait a minute. Let's not get too hasty, people. Why am I getting so excited? We have got sponsors. This is a sponsored show, everyone. FusionGamingOnline.com deal of the week this week. 15% off all white border sets. That is a huge discount if you're after those old reserve list cards. Or if you just like the white border cards. Some people like white border lightning bolt. Maybe it's nostalgic to you. I know I personally played with a lot of white border cards when I started playing. They were cheaper and plentiful. So, yeah, Fusion Gaming Online is giving 15% off all white border sets this week. And if that's not enough for you, don't worry. You can get an additional 5% off using coupon code Nikachu at checkout. Supports the channel, saves you money. Saves you more money. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. And with the metagame changing as it is, if you want to be on the top deck week in and week out, you can do that with Mana Traders. Rent the deck. Don't buy the deck. You never know what's going to be the new hot thing every week. And you don't want to commit to anything. If you don't want to commit to any particular archetype, Mana Traders is for you. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 15% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu. All right, now it's question time. Tyler Roberts, I'm debating between Madcap Platinum combo or Luca Copper Coat into Emrakul combo in Ponza. Are they both bad? Do you prefer one over the other? I would say I'd prefer the Madcap Platinum combo. Because I've never heard the Ponza deck playing with Luca, to be honest. I don't know what that deck looks like, but I know the Madcap can actually work. And I don't know what colors you're using, but like there is some niche success with that archetype. Yeah, I would just I'm not thrilled with either of them, but I would go closer to the Madcap Platinum Imperium one. Alright, Geo, Chalice of the Void or Void Mirror in this meta? Sideboard versus all in Cascade. I think Chalice. The sideboards have spoken, and everyone is playing Chalice. Everyone's playing with like 2 Chalice of the Void specifically. Just throw it on 0. So it has to be Chalice of the Void. Plus they have the, I don't know what deck you play, but it has the upside of, you know, going Chalice on 1 and lock out your opponents that way. Oh, Donnie Alert says, I spent like $10 on Hullbreacher during the pandemic, and I haven't even gotten to play with it yet. Great. You know what? I'm in the same boat as you, Donnie. I think I spent a lot more on my Hullbreacher, and I have not been able to use it. What do we got here? Fraser T. MTG is that well known. Effing Forbes did an article on banning. Yep. What? Hullbreacher. Commander is such a big format. That just says something about the Commander format, right? When Forbes writes an article on Magic the Gathering, it just proved to this news outlet that this was a big enough story to write something about it. The Commander Rules Committee might have so much more power than we think. Way more power over Magic the Gathering. They might even just say one day, Pioneer's banned. For all we know. They have so much power. Maybe the journalists are running out of content. Well, no, I mean, hey, even on Twitter, and Twitter's not going to lie, Hullbreacher was trending. Have you tried the Poop Weasel coffee yet? It's pretty good, actually. I have never heard of it. But to be honest, I really don't want to drink a coffee that's called Poop. Spencer Ward, good morning. The Book of Exalted Deeds / Faceless Haven combo came out hot in Standard. Mutavault seems like a powerful upgrade to the Prison combo. Could it be modern viable? The Book of Exalted Deeds? Let's go take a looky. Book of Exalted Deeds? I don't know what this card is. I look up Book of... Oh, maybe I spelled Exalted wrong. Aha! Okay, so 3 mana for a legendary artifact. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained 3 or more life this turn, create a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying. Pay 3, tap, exile the Book of Exalted Deed, put an enlightened counter on target angel. It gains, you can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. Activate only as a sorcery. I really don't think this is worth playing. You have to be in triple white, which is hard to do with Mutavault in the first place. Don't have a lot of faith in this combo. There are a lot of well, it is an easy combo to pull off, but there's a lot of land destruction too. Maybe this, you have to play Mutavault, which is not a benefit in a lot of archetypes. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's total crap, but it looks really clunky because it has only one purpose, and that is the combo with Mutavault. Only one purpose. Maybe a control deck can make use out of it, but I don't know. I'm a little iffy on it. I'm not gonna say it's nonsense because hey, you have a Platinum Angel on your Mutavault, so it is kind of nice. But does the Mutavault need to be active all the time in response to you dying? Or maybe not. You can't put in light encounter, you can't lose the game, your opponents can't win the game. Whatever. I'm not going to wrap my head around it too much. The Iron Warlock. Do you think Treasure Vault could see play in Tron aside from Affinity? Not really, because I don't know what they want the mana for. Like, it's a playable card for sure. Sacrifice Treasure Vault, create X tokens. Like, well, what was all the Tron mana for, you know? So I don't think this is actually what Tron wants. Straw Boss. Played my first paper at Modern event last night. Round 1. Ad nauseum. I thought the Wicked Witch was dead. Nope, it's back. So Ad nauseum is back actually with a Fury because of the new tutor. Which tutor is it called? Profane Tutor. So Profane Tutor. So here's the deal. I mean, the deck didn't really die because the one of the most, it used to combo off with Lightning Storm. Like, that was the way they won. Or Laboratory Maniac. And then Laboratory Maniac ended up getting replaced by Thassa's Oracle. And then they realized that they could, look, can we find a Ad nauseum list? Let's look for an Ad nauseum list. It's somewhere around here. Hopefully it's called Ad nauseum. There's not many Ad nauseums left in the deck, but Ad nauseum is Ad nauseum. So there was a big revelation when they realized they don't need... I mean, they instantly dumped Laboratory Maniac for Thassa's Oracle. It's just a cleaner, easier win. But then you could win the game with Spoils of the Vault, because what you can do is you Angel's Grace, then you spoils your deck away, and then you play Thassa's Oracle. That was a win condition. So that's the new way to win with Ad nauseum. And they still have that combo even right now. They don't even depend really on the Ad nauseum draw their entire deck thing anymore. They don't need to do that. They could just, you know, assemble the 3 cards, Thassa's Oracle, Spoils of the Vault, and Angel's Grace, or the Phyrexian Unlife. And the combo is there. So how do we make this combo more consistent? Well, Profane Tutor. With Suspend, by turn 4, you'll have the missing combo piece that you need. So this is basically how it is. Now, Ad nauseum is more or less like a value card, but you don't really need Ad nauseum. Not like you used to. So the combo was just still intact, but it was just not consistent before. And now with Profane Tutor, it's super consistent. It's a clean deck. Very clean. Mareep, yeah, the abuse is horrible because no one else could draw into an answer to remove the Hullbreacher, which is the last straw for the Banhammer to hit. I mean, talking a little bit more about Hullbreacher. Why is Wizards constantly making these cards where only the opponent is at a disadvantage? If an opponent would draw a card, why isn't it completely symmetrical? Why isn't this Hullbreacher stealing from his own ship? I mean, yeah, it would be a flavor fail if they worded it like that, but fact of the matter is, these cards are like the things like Hullbreacher, Teferi Time Reveler, these cards are problematic. Only problematic because it only affects the opponent and it's not symmetrical. Same thing with Karn the Great Creator. Like, that's why these cards are so frustrating to play against. And they're just absolutely miserable to play against. Anyway, yeah, the downside is not universal. Eric, total cost to start playing MTG online and on which platform? How do I answer this? Well, I mean, okay, if you want to, okay, I think I can answer this question properly. Okay, so on MTG Arena, it costs nothing. It's absolutely nothing. You just download the client and boom, you can start playing. You could grind for hours. You don't have to put any money into that client whatsoever. Let's get a picture of MTG Arena. Let's get some visual representation. So yeah, MTG Arena, purely free to play client. 100% free to play. You just download it on like every platform, Mac, Windows, Android, iOS. It's all good. You will not put a dime in. You don't have to put a dime into it. And you could eventually grind your way to, by finishing the rewards and the daily challenges or whatever, you could grind your way into a tier 1 deck. Magic the Gathering Online, on the other hand, a little different. Oh wow, look how these super old images of Magic Online. So Magic Online is a little bit different. You can download the client for free, but if you want to unlock trading, which is going to be the most important part, I think they might give you like a starter pack or some cards or something to dick around, but it's like completely pointless. I don't remember what they start you off these days. But if you want to unlock trading to trade to cards, that'll cost you $10. It's not completely free. So if you want to get access to the new like cards and stuff, you need to spend $10 on it. And then you can like either rent cards with mana traders, or you can buy cards online, but you buy from the bots. You know, Magic the Gathering Online traders, Goat bots, Card Hoarder. Those are all fine bots, but you go to the bots to get to buy the cards, but you still need to unlock trading. That costs $10. Oh, it's $5? Did it go down? Or maybe it's 10 Canadian dollars. Maybe I'm thinking of that differently. I mean, honestly, I never did it. Like back in my day, fucking Magic Online looked like this. Yeah, this is the OG Magic Online. Jeez. Was anyone around when it looked like this? Look, you can see at the bottom, 1995 to 2012 Wizards of the Coast. And I think this was the last moment it looked like this, I guess. Because around 2013, 2014, they moved on to the new client. Oh, so it went from $10 to $5 because people weren't paying for the damn trading. Yeah, 5 USD or 300 Canadian. That's right. Well, I think OG. Well, I mean, this is just an aesthetic thing, right? Actually playing it was like sort of a nightmare. Why Hullbreacher while we have Thieves? Because Hullbreacher costs 3. It's amazing what 1 mana can change to a card. The only thing disappointing about Magic Online updating their client, and they made a big update, like it was a huge update, and people were really pissed about that update, is that it was like a pretty bad update. I mean, it made the client more stable, because back then, the biggest issue was the client was just really unstable. It would crash a lot, tournaments would crash. So anyway, they updated everything. Anyway, that's the old Magic Online. How did that spawn? Oh yeah, someone asked about like which format, like which. Oh yeah, maybe a quick thing on Arena. You've got Standard, you got Standard Draft. I think you have Brawl, you have Historic as a format, and then on Magic the Gathering Online you have Vintage, Legacy, Modern, Pioneer, Multiplayer, Commander, and Standard, and the rest of the stuff. Okay, Aquabot. Opinions on Enchantress in the modern meta. Playable deck. Playable. I see it here and there. Not a dominant deck, but it's a deck. It's a deck. And I think, you know, it might have been overrepresented in the beginning because people were... It was like a really unique new thing that people didn't see before, but I think now it's sort of established. It's a deck. Nothing particularly special, though. Will not dominate the metagame. Hasn't yet. DVD Pizza. Hey Nikachu, do you think that Modern is healthy right now, or need any band to be better? We'll see what happens. Like the deck that might be the most scariest will be like the Hammer Time deck. Like I'm hoping the meta will adjust to this thing, but it like just got better. Oh yeah, we might as well look at like the Hammer Time. Let's look at all the Hammer Time decks. The stats must be out now. But so far, I don't think Ragavan, Saga, or Bob will need to be banned. Definitely not right now. Look at all those hammer decks. 1, 2, 3, 4 hammer decks in the top 8. How many in total? 5, 6. Okay, only 6. 6 hammer decks. Let's see if the meta can adapt. What does the winning hammer deck look like? Again, they're playing with Ingenious Smith, the new card. It's like Impulse. It's like Stoneforge Mystic, but not a tutor, more of an Impulse. But that's their upgrade. They upgraded with this. Is it really that big of a deal? Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card. I mean, it's just card advantage for the most part, and it's like a crappy Thousand. Well, the champion of the parish. But anyway, that's the only other upgrade they got. It's not. Doesn't seem that big of a deal. But it's more than enough. It's more than enough. 4 Hammer Time decks. 50% of the top 8 was Hammer Time decks. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Thassa's Hideous Laughter been discussed yet? Current online price seems absurd. I don't have no idea what this card is. Okay, hold on. If it's a price, let's go. We go to MTG stocks on this one. We love it. I love graphs. Thassa's Hideous Laughter. Oh, Tassa's. It doesn't look that crazy. Oh, current online prices. Oh, you mean on Magic the Gathering Online? Tassa's Hideous. Oh, Tasha's. I don't know, it seems reasonable. I don't know what this card does. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until that player has exiled cards with a total mana value of 20 or more. Oh, this is the new mill card. Now, it is going up, though. I will say that. Oh, wow. It's going up fast. It's been 2 days, and it went from 6 ticks to 22 ticks. Where's the results? I mean, the set technically isn't out yet, so if people want to just play test with it, like, I think people are getting cards from treasure chests being opened. But was there even a single mill deck here in this last challenge? Blue-black mill. Okay, we do have a mill deck. And I do not even see Tasha's Hideous Laughter in this. Well, that's a fail. It's a fail if I ever saw one. Another mill. Oh, it is. Oh, maybe it was. Maybe it was in the other section. Okay, so we do have Tasha's Hideous Laughter. How about the other one? Oh, it is. Okay, it's in the other section here. It's funny. Wizards.com hasn't even put their new cards in. Okay, so it is here. How many mill decks then? 2 mill decks. 2 mill decks in the top 32. All right, we'll see what happens. Was it? Yep, it was there. It was there. It was just all tucked away down there, like Canada, as Homer Simpson said once. Where's Canada on a map? Oh, anyone can miss Canada, all tucked away down there. Walter says, I have a feeling Tasha is going to plummet after its release, just like a lot of Modern Horizons 2 pre-order cards. Absolutely. The deal is the set isn't out online yet, right? Or is it? Is it out? Are people drafting with it online? I think at the time that these cards were bought, it's just in, like, when is Forgotten Realms officially released? Yeah, we aren't even, it's not even there yet, July 23rd. So if you want to play with the hot cards right now, you have only access to them through, I don't think it's officially released through boosters and stuff like that on Magic Online. Like, I don't think you can draft with it yet. Oh, did it release last week? Ugh, I want to know when it was released on Magic Online. Oh, you can draft? Okay, I got the answer. Okay, well, we'll see what... I don't really believe this card is going to be very expensive. Or, I mean, okay, there is another thing that pushes up the price of cards. And that is, if the set sucks, no one wants to draft it, it is very uninteresting, then that can push the price of cards up by a lot. If a set is unpopular, but there's some good staples in there, then those staples can spike hard. So keep that in mind. Pay attention to the popularity of this set. Pay very close attention to the popularity of this set, because if it's a bomb and no one likes it, you better believe not enough people are going to be cracking packs from this. The value of the boosters are going to go down, and then the value of those very individual playable constructed cards are just going to like fly high to the sky. So that's one variable to consider. All right, let's randomly get to a question. Classic Affinity and Modern without Urza Saga? Probably unplayable. I think Classic Affinity needs Urza Saga. It got a few tools like Thought Monitor, but I still think you need Urza Saga. That's the boost that made it like, it can like grind through more and give it like more playability. Susie Green, what are good cards to sideboard against the Hammer Time deck? It's hard to tell right now. I know a lot of people are trying everything. Kataki, they're trying like Force of Vigor. I guess maybe Seal of Cleansing is good. I would say Chalice of the Void should be good, because Chalice on 1 hurts them a lot, but they have answers to your answers. What else is remotely good? I don't even know if Plague Engineer is really all that good. Does anyone know any other good... Okay, well, I'll just bring it to the community. What do you guys think are good sideboard cards for Hammer Time? Well, Stony Silence is fine. Yeah, Stony Silence is okay. Now, the problem with Stony Silence, however, is... what's it called? The Thing. Let's get a deck list here. So we've got this deck here. So even if you have Stony Silence out, though, they can play Cigar's Aid. And then they just play the equipment, and it just attaches immediately. Does Curse Totem do anything? I don't know. I don't know if Curse Totem does anything. Collector Roof sort of does something. Cigar's Aid is always like the all-around trump card to like a lot of the cards. So yeah, Chalice on 1. I like Chalice on 1 because like even if they've got the Cigar's Aid out, you still counter the Colossus Hammer. Because if they can't get Colossus Hammer out, then okay, your deck isn't nearly as good. But they can even get around that with Stoneforge Mystic. Damping Matrix is okay. Eon 1 is actually not too bad. Okay, I like that one. Eon 1 is good. Kataki, they can just pay for it. It's okay, though. Unmoored Ego is actually not a bad idea. I like that one, actually. A little slow, but it's okay. It will work. You choose a card name, and you just exile all the cards of that name from their library. Wear and Tear is not too bad. Ratchet Bomb. Well, Blast Zone might be too slow. Might be way too slow. At least Ratchet Bomb you can get online by turn 2. I mean, turn 3. Actually, with Ratchet Bomb, you could have it available by turn 2 if they only have Ornithopters out. Surgical Extraction only works if you've got the hammer in the graveyard. So I don't like those plans of like, oh, let's get that card discarded and then Surgical. That only really works for mill. We got Rip Apart, Pithing Needle. The problem with a lot of these cards is like they still have the answers. Like that Sigarda's 8 is insane. Whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you just attach it to target creature you control. So it just undermines. Like this card actually is what undermines a lot of the hate. You know, Ensnaring Bridge doesn't work nearly as well as you would think. Because what they'll do is they're going to attack with an Ornithopter, 0 power, and then just flash into play the hammer and equip it. See, so even while we were discussing, yeah, Disenchant is okay. Even while we were discussing all the hate cards, it's tough. It's actually really tough. And like, even if you attack the artifact plan enough, they might just play Urza Saga, make a bunch of constructs, and then kill you. This is probably the best Urza Saga deck in the end. Anyway, it's interesting. This is a very difficult deck to beat. Very difficult deck to beat. I mean, so we've mentioned a lot of playable cards, but I don't know if any of them are like... I can't say like, well, when you side in this card, it's all over. It's all over. They can't beat this card. They can beat every sideboard card. Gold Medal plays Feed the Swarm, but that's just like, you know, exile. Does that even do anything? I thought that was an enchantment destruction. Or is it artifact or enchantment? Choose target creature or enchantment. Oh, wait, it's target. I forgot. Yeah, you can hit the creatures too. Anyway, maybe this is gonna be the next best deck. Maybe this is the next tier 0 deck. It's got a lot of properties, right? It's got a lot of properties to a tier 0 deck. It's like really low in mana cost. I mean, it doesn't get any lower than this. The most expensive card in the deck is 2. It's got... Wow, did they lower the tutors to 1? That's insane. For the Ingenious Smith? That's more important? Head Scratch. What the fuck? Did all the Hammer Times do that? Yeah, less Steel Shaper's Gift. Low on Steel Shaper's Gift. High on everything else. This version didn't even play with the new creature. Two Ingenious Smith, 2 Steel Shaper's Gift. They have so many ways of getting that hammer, they don't even care anymore. They just don't even care. Just doesn't matter. Yeah, the deck is just busted. The deck is busted. And maybe this is the deck that puts Urza Saga out of its misery. Who knows? Geo asks, in your opinion, Glimpse of Tomorrow is ban-worthy? Foothills is fair. Turn 3 Emrakul, Archon, etc. No, in my opinion. Yeah, actually, they've banned less. I mean, we had... This is so similar to the Tybalt Trickery deck in a lot of ways. There are a lot of answers to this. I mean, if there is a way for them to win immediately by turn 3, that will be a problem. Yeah, this could be a ban-worthy card one day if you get the right build. Right now they're pretty janky. The builds are pretty janky, and they can still lose. Like if you're on the play, you could win by turn 3 your way, and then if they combo off on turn 3, they don't have necessarily a winning board state. They have an Emrakul out and stuff, but like, what are they going to do with it? And then on your turn, you can kill them. Nick says, just built mono green Tron. How dumb of an idea it was building it with the current modern meta. How much of a jerk I will be for using it against my casual friends. It's not that bad of an idea. You might be buying it. Like, what's the cost of Tron right now? Did the cost of Tron go down? Let's go. Like, people don't like to buy into decks when they're unpopular. Like, a deck is on sale when it's, like, poorly positioned. But you know that Tron is so damn strong. It's got to make a comeback one day. Either when there's a banning or there's a new card printed or something. That's so amazing that Tron is getting its shit kicked in. I wouldn't say it's on sale. It's not a terrible buy. It's not a terrible buy. I think it's okay. And you got to teach your friend. You're not being a jerk to your casual friends. You're just preparing them for the real tournaments. That's right. We can just say that. Jeez, all the Tron staples are still super expensive. Wormcoil, Karn, Urza Saga, of course. Why does the Core Lord suck? What's the Core Lord? Is there a Core Lord? Oh, is it like 3? It's a 3-mana Lord or something like that? Or was it 4 mana? It was like some outrageous amount of mana, right? I can't find it because I don't remember the name, but I'm familiar with the Lord though, because I once had to play Core Tribal as a Dono deck, and I thought the Lord was garbage. It didn't really work with the deck at all, but I don't remember what it's called. What's the best card from the D&D set? Probably... Well, I don't know. That Demilich card didn't see any play. At the very least, Ingenious Smith did. I don't really want to say this is the best card, though. Demilich is probably still the best card. Even if it sees no play. Clearly looks like the best card. Oh, Armament Master. Other core creatures you control get +2/+2 for each equipment attached to Armament Master. So it's bad. I mean, this is bad because you need to put equipment on this thing. So if you're filling your deck with equipment, then that means you're not filling your deck with core creatures. Yeah, I think this has just ended up what happening. So, and I saw with Aspiring Spike, he started with Demilich, and he's like, you know what, screw it, let's just play with Arclight Phoenix. Where is he now with this list? Oh, did Arclight Phoenix go up? Apparently, oh, it's FVOE. Curious, did it go up online? Because this is where the metagame is right now, right? Not really. It didn't change very much. Where's the paper price? There's no paper price here. Weird. Whatever. What happened to all the Through the Breach decks? They disappeared, didn't they? They like just outright disappeared. I can't say what happened to it. Like there's a bunch of... Everyone tried new stuff when Modern Horizons 2 came out, and there was just so many like fun things to do that people eventually just forgot to play Through the Breach. They just went on to other things. Truth be told, like the Through the Breach decks, they were not like, they were dominating. Well, no, you could say they were actually like a key piece of the modern metagame prior to Modern Horizons 2 coming out. And maybe they're too slow now. Maybe they're too slow. I can't say for sure. But like, yeah, you're right. They just completely washed away. I haven't seen a Through the Breach deck for, Through the Breach deck for weeks. Tyler Roberts asks, is it unfair to have someone helping you on Magic the Gathering Online during leagues? You don't get that support in Paper Magic. It is technically not unfair. Okay, well, but specifically, it needs to be... There are certain really big tournaments where you're not allowed to, like, read chat, and you're definitely not allowed to ghost. It's against the rules. I think like challenges and lower, you're allowed to get help from somebody, or like you can like team up, because technically your opponent could do it as well and you would never know. But there is a point where you are absolutely not allowed to get any assistance, because otherwise like all us streamers would get banned for taking any advice from chat. It's just something people can't enforce. It's just unenforceable, or it's very difficult to enforce. Breach decks are slower and get splash damage from the Cascade hate, or the Cascade decks are just better. And like if you want to do something big, you go with the Cascade now instead of going with Through the Breach. Maybe they're competing with all the Cascade decks. Is Heliod Company deck still playable in today's metagame? Playable, yes. Competitive, maybe not. It's just gone. It's just gone. I get people in my comment section who are like, oh, people don't know how to play with Heliod Company. They just don't understand. It is so good right now. It's the best. Well, okay, then go win the tournaments then. You show us. You show. I always get these comments like they're sleeping on this deck. Look, if you know something nobody else does, then go prove it in a tournament. Because I doubt that people who bought into the deck, and it was clear tier 1 for such a long time, they're not going to just dump the deck because they want to play, something new and fun. Those days are the Modern Horizons 2 has been out for a long time now. Now we got to go back to the serious stuff, and it just can't compete. I mean, there are a few problems with it. Again, like the fact that Inkmoth Nexus is very prevalent. Like, I doubt the Hammer Time deck gives a crap about Heliod Company, because even if you gain infinite life, they have Inkmoth Nexus, and they'll just kill you with this thing. They'll just kill you with Inkmoth Nexus, simple as that. You can also equip a hammer to the Inkmoth Nexus. It's going to lose flying, but then you can activate it for 1 mana, give it flying again, and attack over your opponent and kill them. So, they're going to have... So, infinite life, thanks to all the Urza Saga decks, infinite life is not a win anymore. It's not a clear win. Now you have to win with damage. That's the harder combo to pull off. Getting Heliod out, getting Walking Ballista, activating the Walking Ballista. You gotta work for that combo, and they don't want to work for that combo anymore. Not to mention, Prowess is still very relevant, so if you have to win with those sort of combos, I think Prowess has good game against them as well, because you have to remove counters in order to start comboing off, and in response to removing counters, you shoot the creature and the combo is done for. Kellen says, I hope Saga doesn't get banned for Classic Affinity's sake. I don't think it's Classic Affinity. I doubt Classic Affinity will get it banned. I think if anyone will get it banned, it'll be like decks like Hammer Time. Maybe a deck like Amulet Titan. No, Amulet Titan is now suffering. Am I late? Have you seen how many Hammer Time there are in some? Yeah, well, you are late. We saw there's 4 in the top 8, 6 in total. When are we getting Splinter Twin back? I don't know, but Sam Black says it's time for Splinter Twin to come back. Thought that was very interesting. Sam Black would endorse Splinter Twin. Didn't seem like something that Sam would do. Whatever happened to Restore Balance decks, and why haven't they used Shardless Agent in them? Because Living End is probably better. Instead of Restore Balance, just restore your graveyard to the battlefield and wipe out your opponent's side of the board. Did people stop playing Nettlecyst? I think people still play Nettlecyst, but it was only being played more or less in Affinity. The death of Affinity of Heliod is overrated. It is boring to play and tedious to play. I just got a top 8. It just got a top 8 in a challenge. It is coming back. Probably not the best deck anymore, but still great. Like I said, it's playable, but it's not like the most competitive deck. It's like it's a deck, but it doesn't have any special properties anymore. So would turn 2 Blood Moon slow down Hammer Time enough? No. I mean, this is a mono deck. This is a mono white deck. Got 9 planes. I mean, you might hurt them a little bit. You might hurt them a little bit. But it's still a deck that's full of artifacts. I mean, well, okay, if you get turn 2 Blood Moon before they don't have a planes out, they're probably screwed. But 9 planes is a lot. What about Team or Monk? Tier 0? Well, someone has to build it. Ryan says, I saw online yesterday there was a Demilich and a blue-red Phoenix. Do you think we will see a resurgence? Yeah, we might. Well, I mean, it was Aspiring Spike's build, right? Aspiring Spike seems to be like the meta game now. Like, whatever he builds and it ends up being good, everyone's gonna like jump on it, just like the black-red Ragavan deck. And that deck is still in the modern metagame. So yeah, we might see a Phoenix resurgence. All right, it's that time, people. It's that time. It's a good time. It's deck list review time. All right, so you want your deck list reviewed by the Coffee crew and myself, you can submit it to us by first going into the description. In the description, there is a link to my Discord. Join my Discord. There's a channel called Decklist Review. And then when you're in the channel Decklist Review, use the command !review deck space, give the URL to your deck list, and boom, you will be eligible at random for Decklist Review. And away we go. You Green 2, congratulations, you're the next contestant on Decklist Review. And it looks like we've got a Panza deck, a Bosch Panza. Okay, a Bosch Panza. I think that's a cool thing because most of the Panza, not all of them. You might have to sacrifice your Ren and 6s, but most of the Panza cards are just like on an odd number. So let's see how this works out. Arbrelf, Bone Crusher Giant. What? What is going on here? Why? Okay, Endurance, that's fine. Ignoble Hierarch, that's... I don't think you need this many mana dorks, but it's fine. Ragavan. I don't know if Ragavan fits this deck very well. Are you reaching for playables? So maybe we have Ragavan, Seasoned Pyromancer, Blood Moon, Utopia Sprawl. Oh, Luca. Exile a creature you control. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. I don't know, the Mario dead sound effect. This is terrible. Hold on, am I reading this wrong? Exile target creature you control. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Oh, with higher converted mana cost. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So you can exile a 3 mana card and immediately get Emrakul is what you're telling me. Or upgrade your 1-drops to 3-drops. How many 3-drops do you have? 3. So you have 1, 4, 6, 10. I don't like it. I'm just going to be upfront. I don't like it. I don't like this idea at all. I think I'd rather you have Lightning Bolt in your deck over this. But you should go over the top of your opponent. You have too many Lucas for too little of a gain. Like, I think you'd be so much better off with just some dragon in this place that gets immediate value. Like anything, like any 5 mana card that you grind with. Seems fun. Well, of course it can be fun. Yeah, but at what cost? Yeah, I actually think you'd make your deck a little bit more efficient if you didn't play Luca. Whatever, I guess you can do it, but I think you should still have Lightning Bolt somewhere in here. Well, now I understand why you have so many creatures, because you want to upgrade your Ignoble Hierarch into like Seasoned Pyromancer and Seasoned Pyromancer into Emrakul. Whatever, I don't think this is ideal. I don't think this is ideal at all. Oh, you do have Lightning Bolt in here, and you have 3 Pillage. Who knows? Maybe it's better than I think. Maybe it's better than I think. I just could see like these... I would just prefer to have you fill up the slots, like 2 more Endurance, 4 Glory Bringer or something, you know? There is a Bolt, it's just at the bottom. And there's some Pillages here. And the Companion, the Abosh. I love this. I love Abosh in this deck. Just so happens, this Emrakul is an odd mana cost. There are so many Lukas in this deck, though. There's a lot of Lukas. Okay, what's in the sideboard? Anger, Endurance, Kitchen Finks, Nature's Claim, Abosh, for Veil of Summer. Well, there is Ragavan. I don't even think this is a Ragavan deck, but like whatever. Because like you're never playing this on turn 1, because you have so many other things to play on turn 1: Arbor Elf, Ignoble Hierarch, and Utopia Sprawl. So I don't know if this deck needs Ragavan. Maybe it is. Maybe it does. Maybe it's good in the late game. You have a lot of mana anyway. I mean, the thing, like, there is a lot of... Okay, so here, let's talk about Ragavan for a second. Ponza sometimes has nothing to do later in the game. They just spew out a bunch of stuff. They spew out some stuff. They ramp, but they don't have any beef. You kill their one thing, and then they have an empty battlefield. So Ragavan could solve that by having more threats stolen from your opponent. On the other hand, Ragavan only works if you have a lot of removal, that you're clearing the way for this Ragavan. This deck doesn't really have that. Like you don't clear the way at all. You have just 4 Lightning Bolts, so this might not be the best spot for your Ragavan, but you have 2 of them. I mean, personally, I love the idea of going Abosh. I'd just be playing a more traditional list and taking advantage of Abosh. You know, play Klothys. Like, if I were to change this, I'd be playing with Klothys and stuff like that. I'd probably take out the Ragavan, the Ignoble Hierarch, add some number of Klothys. I would play maybe more Endurance in the main deck. Seems like a great idea. Take out Emrakul and Luca, add the Glory Bringers or something to that effect. But as is, maybe you should... I don't think I need to change anything. Why Carpleasant Forest? Is this a mistake? Or do you need the colorless for some reason? How many forests do you have? You have 7, 11, 15. You might want a few, like, Utopia Sprawl can only go on a forest. You might actually want more forests. Or more fetch lands for forests. Maybe it's budget. Is there a description here? My current Ponza list working on playing early 3-drop spells with double damage thanks to a Bosch, and using Luca to get an Emrakul for Annihilator 6 finish. Yeah, but I feel like that is so Winmore. It's such a ridiculous Winmore. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, this idea definitely has to be seen in play. Because I'm looking at... It's actually not that bad of a shell. Like, maybe it's not Winmore. There's always the danger. The problem is, like, this combo can be interacted with relatively easily. I will say, though, they won't see this coming. They will absolutely not see this coming. If you're a Ponza deck, and then all of a sudden you go, like, Luca, pitch your Seasoned Pyromancer away. Can you get to Luca? Oh, yeah, this deck has a lot of mana. 22 lands and 8 ramp cards. Arbor Elf, Utopia Sprawl, Ignoble Hierarch, easy. I mean, maybe this deck should play some number of Klothys as well, but I'm not sure. I think you could run it as it is. Like, it's not a terrible list. Maybe the Ragavan should be something else, because this really is like a very awkward card. And you have enough 1-drops to find your 3-drops. Maybe instead of 2 Ragavan, you just go with Endurance. I like this card. I like this card a lot. It's like a pretty decent beater and interacts with a lot of graveyard decks. Could be budget if he pulled 2 Ragavans, yeah. Anyway, I think that will be all my feedback. Good luck with the list. But if this is ending up being like too awkward, which I don't know, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a good way to finish the game after you Blood Moon someone on turn 2. Blood Moon turn 2, play Seasoned Pyromancer turn 3, Luca turn 4. Maybe this is the deck for Luca. No, like the more I'm looking at this, the more interested I am. And you can go up the chain. One drop goes into the 3 drop. The 3 drop goes into Emrakul. Maybe a second Emrakul, because if it's in your hand, Luca is dead in hand. You can discard it with Seasoned Pyromancer, and then Emrakul goes back into your library. So you can do that. Oh, this is your review? It's your deck, Tyler? Alright, good luck with the list. Good luck with the list. I have to say, the more I look at it, the more I'm curious to know how it would do in a league. It's not ridiculous at all. Oh, hold on, wait. Did I do a random in here? Why are you doing this here and not in Decklist review? Oh, I'm in the wrong channel. Did it still pull from Decklist review though? Did I pull a list from... Well, whatever. It worked. Pomposo. Congratulations. You're the next contestant on Decklist review. We've got elves. Golgari elves, specifically. Maybe a very traditional list. Okay, Dwynn, get rid of these ads. Dwynn's Elite. Elvish Archdruid. 1 Elvish Champion. Only 1? What are we doing here? Okay, Elvish Clan Caller, Elvish Mystic, Elvish War Master. You should have 4, like, okay, maybe some of these choices are weird. Azuri, Heritage Druid, Llanowar Elves, Nettle Sentinel, Shaman of the Pact, Blooming Marsh, 1 Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. Yeah, 1 is fine. Collected Company, 3 Lead the Stampede. How many creatures do we have? 35? I think you should have more Elvish War Master. In fact, you could go all in on Elvish War Master and completely remove Azuri from the... Like, Azuri is not that mandatory. Elvish War Master is Azuri, but better. Shaman of the Pack should be a playset. I can't speak to this at all. Maybe this is fine, but I don't know. I'm curious about the Elvish Mystic. This is a lot of mana dorks. You have Llanowar Elves. No, I guess it's not. This is, I mean, the soul of the deck is like mana dorks. For the most part, this deck is fine, but you also do better with more stuff like this, like a Dwynn's Elite. Okay, so if I would take out the Azuri Renegade Leader, I would add a Dwynn's Elite, I would add Elvish War Master, because this is just like the main point of Azuri is that if you have a pile of mana, you can just get everything really big. Like if you have an arbitrarily large, like almost infinite amount of mana, you can like pump up your entire team, but you don't need Azuri Renegade Leader anymore. And Elvish War Master is just better because not only do you have the make your creatures infinitely big if you have a very large amount of mana, but you also have this: whenever 1 or more elves enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green elf warrior token, and you can only do this once per turn, but you still create more elves, you create more warriors, and it's just way better than Azuri. You have this online by turn 2. Turn 1 mana dork, turn 2 play a land, Elvish War Master, play a creature, get a creature. Azuri is gas in this build. I think Azuri is like the old-fashioned card here. I personally would take out an Azuri and play a War Master and 1 more Dwynn's Elite. And then from there... I don't know how useful Elvish Champion is if you're not even playing that many Yavimaya Cradle of Growth. I guess it's just a way of, like, eking out a win out of nowhere, I guess. You don't 4 Llanowar and 4 Mystic, so we could take out one. I couldn't remember how many dorks you need. The clan caller can't live in this meta. I sort of agree. Oh, we got the elves. Oh, we got the elves master here. Frederick, what do you suggest? We have an elf We have an elf guy. We got our elf guy in the chat. What are your opinions? You see the deck here. Well, clan callers are good at grinding. Although it's like really weak to Lava Dart right now. Really weak to Lava Dart. I gotta make my own elf deck. When it comes winter time, we're gonna make a Santa's Little Elves deck. I'll definitely play with like 3 Yavimaya Cradle of Growth just so that I could play with 4x Elvish Champion. You know I'm gonna play with 4x Elvish Champion. Realmwalker is good in theory in elves. I'll just say that. In theory. But you'd have to probably remove maybe, I don't know, some number of these. Probably the lead the Stampede. We've got replace lead. Queeron. What is this? Oh, this is the new one. Oh, the new Ranger. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. They got new upgrades. There's like a new elf that we got here. Return a force you control to its owner's hand, untap target creature, activate only once each turn. So so what, are we dumping like a Llanowar Elves for this? Dump Llanowar Elves, get Queeron Ranger in? Okay. You can go with Coco Shaman, Green Black, Mono Green Warrior with Hoof, or like a version like this should go 4 Champion 3. Yeah, I would like to go 4 Champion 3 Yavimaya personally. If we're gonna play with Elvis Champion, maybe we dump this card. Yes, it's good. It's really good. All right, we gotta add if we were just gifted a new card for elves, Queeron Ranger, so we should at least use it. So, are we removing, I guess, a Llanowar Elves for this thing? Because it's going to have a similar effect. You can untap a creature and return a forest, so you can float a mana. Well, I mean, this only you only really net mana if you don't have any more lands in hand, but you tap the land for mana, return the forest back to your hand, replay it for the turn. 8 Dork, 4 Queeron can work perfectly. So how many Dorks do we have? 4. Oh, so you want to go 4 Mystic, 4 Elves? I don't know, are you counting Heritage Druid as a dork? I can't tell. Frederick, what are we removing for the Queeron Ranger? Are we like taking out Lead the Stampede? Absolutely. Abuse that that Elvish Archdruid. I played Merfolk and I haven't had a match yet on Elves. And I think you should be happy about that, because I'm a Merfolk player and I can tell you this much, I don't like it when I face against Elves. Thomas Penny loves winning with the Shaman. I've lost a Shaman a million times. Direwolf, when you give a suggestion, you have to give it to me in a sentence, because I have no idea what you're talking about. The lag is about 20 seconds. Freaking pixel. Oh. Oh, you're on a phone. Sorry about that. Here, can I make this bigger for you? No, I can't. Then it gets too big for me. We've got Dwinin's Elite, we've got Elvish Archdruid, 1 Elvish Champion, 4 Elvish Clan Caller. I mean, we could dump these. Elvish Mystic, Elvish War Master, 2 Azuri, Heritage Druid, 4 Llanowar Elves, 3 Nettle Sentinel, 3 Shaman of the Pact. And there's like 3 Lead the Stampede. No, we're definitely playing the Ranger. The Ranger is a legacy playable card, and I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be in here. But I just don't know what the best build of. I don't know what the. I don't know. I could make an executive decision and say, you know, dump the Lead the Stampede and the 1 Elvish Champion and call it a day. Take out Dwinin's Elite? Really? You don't like this card? Okay. Or Clan Caller should go. Okay, Clan Caller should go. Azuri can go in a 4 champion build. War Master is a must at 4. Shaman without Coco is a big no. There is Coco in here, it's just off screen. Azuri can... Okay, Azuri... Clan Caller should go. Okay, we're going to remove 4 Clan Caller for the Quiron Ranger. That's what we're doing here. Land, we have 4 Blooming Marsh, 7 Forest, 2 Llanowar Waste, 1 Nurturing Peatland, 2 Overgrown Tomb. How much black mana is that? I mean, you don't need that much black mana because eventually you can, like, Coco into the creature, but this is 2, 4, 8 black sources? Is that too few for Shaman of the Pact? I think that's too few. There's no Realm Walker in this build. Need to remove something else for the 4th War Master? I would take out the Elvish Champion. I don't know if there's enough synergy for this card. Or I guess you just keep... Okay, maybe we keep 1 for the Yavimaya Cradle of Growth. You just randomly can win the game somewhere. Well, I don't know what to change, though. Oh, then cut Lead the Stampede. Only no creatures should be Coco. Also, if you play Quiron, you can cut 1 or even 2 land. Seems, but it works. What, you want to go to 16? Okay. Interesting. Interesting tech. Okay, so if we need to make space, so we could fill up the curve with like Lead the Stampede by cutting Lead the Stampede, right? Add a Shaman, add a Nettle Sentinel, add a Elvish War Master, and there we go. We got a deck. And apparently we can cut more lands, but I think we need to replace some of these lands with black mana. I don't know how like deep we could go without black mana. We only have 8 sources. Fabio says, remove Elite Clan Caller, remove this Lead the Stampede, and add 1 now, and we'll go 4 War Master. The tough part about Elves is this deck could be constructed in so many different ways, depending how heavy you want to go on Collected Company or Lead the Stampede. So maybe we can play Elves of the Deep Shadow, but it deals damage to you. I think it's Elves of... Oh, sorry, it's Elves of Deep Shadow. Yeah. It's Nintendo Wii music. What is it called specifically? Wii Shop channel, background music. Okay, I know it might not be budget, but I think he should play fetch because Quiron needs 12 forests source at least, so 6 fetch and 4 overgrown tomb, 4 forest, 4 cavern, or gilt leaf, depending on how heavy the black the sideboard is. Let's go take a look at the sideboard. Okay, so I agree. Let's add some fetch lands to this deck. I don't know if it's necessarily trying to be, but like, yeah, if you're trying to go black, I think you should have the fetch lands in order to make those black sources work. Sideboard on, let's see. This is my current Modern Elves list. I'm trying out some tech with the Avamayan Champion. You're not very heavy on it, in my opinion. That's the thing. Like, if you were very serious about this, you should have at least 2 Yavimaya and like 3 to 4 Elvish Champion. Notable good matchups so far: Tron, combo decks, bad matchups, Prowess, Death Shadow decks. 1 oof. 3 Damping Sphere. That doesn't screw you? I guess not. Another Elvish Champion, 2 Pithing Needle, Ravenous Trap, Reclamation Sage, Scavenge Goose, Shaper's Sanctuary, and Weather the Storm. I have no comments. Congrats RG on the 2nd vaccine. I get mine this Sunday. Okay, not sure. Yeah, we're removing the Lead the Stampede and we'll fill up the cracks with more Shamans, Nettle Sentinel, and Elvish War Master. I don't really like Nykthos in these decks because against against decks that don't have removal, you'll spew your hand out anyway, and against the decks with the removal, it'll become a dead card. Oh my god, use deck stats, don't ever use tapped out. What, are you trolling me here? Anyway, I think, whatever. The sideboard is whatever. I don't know if there's anything particularly great or bad about it. I'm just not sure how well Damping Sphere works in a deck like this. But aside from that, like, I have no strong opinions about this. I'm glad we had a few elf players here to give their suggestions about what to do in this deck. So definitely take out the Lead the Stampede, fill in the rest of the cracks, make sure that we go and also add fetch lands so that you have the black sources mandatory to get your Shaman of the Pact online. Yeah, elves need forest turn 1, so things like Nykthos are a huge liability. Alright, that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for joining me on Coffee and MTG. If you want to check out the replay, you missed the whole show, you're not going to miss it for long because you can find the replay at Nikachu MTG Streams, my alternate YouTube channel. If I didn't get your questions, comments, or deck list, don't worry, we do this Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. If you'd love to support Coffee and MTG, and you don't already, you can drop a sub at twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. You can become a patron at patreon.com/NikachuMTG. Or you can hit the join button on YouTube. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today. This we had a fantastic conversation. Fantastic cup of coffee. And the show, I'm reminding everyone, the show is nothing without all of you. Without you guys making your comments and questions here every single day of the week, you know, the show would be nothing. I'd be nothing without all of you being able to ask your questions. So keep brewing up that coffee crew, and we'll keep brewing up magic. See you guys next time.